In the last class, I even told you that the tRNA acts like an adapter molecule. Now, what is adapter in the normal language, also in day-to-day life? Something which joins many things together is called as the adapter. So, tRNA is a adapter molecule because it joins with the ribosome from one side, it joins with the enzyme for amino acid attachment on the other side, it joins with the amino acid on the opposite side, and opposite to that it joins with the mRNA. So at four corners it is joining with some other molecules, that's why it is called as the adapter molecule. So this is how tRNA appears to be in the 2D dimension. This is the 5' end, it undergoes bending, and this is the 3' end. Now you can easily see I have made some bonds. So these bonds are supposed to be double bonds or double hydrogen bonds, or you can say 2 hydrogen bonds or 3 hydrogen bonds, depending upon whether GC or AT, what exactly is present there opposite to each other. So this end is the end which joins with the amino acid, not the 5' but the 3' end, and that's why this end is called as amino acid attachment site. Now the main thing to remember here is that there is a what is replication? Formation of DNA from DNA is called replication. Formation of the RNA from the DNA is called as transcription. So after transcription is over, after the formation of the tRNA, there will be some post-transcriptional changes. So those changes are, for example, this. Every tRNA will have CCA present in 5' to 3' direction, at which end? 3' end. CCA. Now this CCA is not a part of the DNA information. It is done at the end. So after transcription or formation of the RNA, it undergoes some changes. Those changes are called as post-transcriptional events or modification. These modification helps or assists in the proper functioning of the machinery. So CCA is always added at the end of the tRNA, and this A will have free hydroxyl group which will form a bond with the amino acid. I have explained this in the last class. This bond formation will cause a loss of one molecule of water, but a bond is formed between the tRNA and the amino acid, and this bond formation is called as the charging of the tRNA or amino acylation of the tRNA. Now this process requires, detail will come as we go to the translation topic, don't worry for that. So this process is done with the help of an enzyme. That enzyme is called as amino acyl synthetase enzyme. So this enzyme also has to join. So this is the place where the enzyme join, and this enzyme joining will motivate the amino acid to join with the OH group, or you can say the free end of, or the 3' end of the tRNA, and finally charging of tRNA is successfully taking place. Now enzyme attaches here, amino acid attaches here. This is the place where mRNA attaches. So mRNA carries codon, that's why tRNA carries complementary information which is called as anticodon. Some books will mention it as NODOC, opposite of codon. Anyway, you can remember. And then this is the place where ribosome attaches. So at every corner it is attaching with something. This arm is variable arm. It is found in some tRNAs, it is not found in some tRNAs. So far scientists have not identified or given any particular function to this variable arm. So it is a functionless portion so far, and it is present, it may not be present, so it's a variable component. But all other portions are always found in a typical tRNA. So you can see here that the first arm is called as the, now let's start from this end. The first arm is called as the amino acid binding site arm. So it has amino acid binding site, and the site lies at the 3' end of the 3' end, and you can say it is opposite to the anticodon. This is found opposite to the anticodon attachment site, and it has CCA and the hydroxyl group present. The 5 prime end always bears G. Please remember that 5 prime end will always bear G, and amino acid or amino acid binding site and the anticodons are the two recognition sequences of the tRNA. This one and this one are because this will recognize the amino acid and this one will recognize the message on the messenger RNA, or the message of the, or you can say the codons of the messenger RNA. So this recognizes the amino acid, this recognizes the codons of the messenger RNA. Now the next one is this one. Actually, if you check books, it goes like this: first, second, third, fourth, and this is the fifth portion. So the next portion is the anticodon loop. Now in this loop you can see I have already mentioned 7 base pairs are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 base pairs are there, and 7 unpaired bases are there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of them. Out of these 7, these 3 are called as anticodons. They are complementary to the codons of the messenger RNA. Remember, the first position of the anticodon is wobble position. What is wobble position? Wait for the few more classes to be over. This topic will come when we will do the process of translation. What is wobble position? So just remember this much, that this is the end which joins with the messenger RNA, and messenger RNA's information is called codon. Codons are triplets of bases, so this is also triplet, and this triplet is complementary to codon. That's why it is called as anticodon. So the anticodon loop has 7 bases, out of which 7 unpaired bases, out of which 3 of them forms the anticodon for recognizing and attaching to the codons of the messenger RNA. Now the next arm is the DHU arm. DHU stands for dihydrouracil